Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to this House of the Dragon after show. Full spoiler discussion. We've got a finale to discuss. If you have not watched the episode yet, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Go away. Come back once you've seen the episode, because I am with Rob, and we are going to spoil all of this for you. Rob, we got a big episode to talk about.
Yeah, we do, and I feel good about it because I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm going to spoil things. I've got this weird reputation as a spoiler. I'm not a spoiler. But now it doesn't matter if I do. What do you mean, I mean?
We made a graphic for you, bro. And when I say we, I mean Jonathan.
Usually
when
when someone says they made something graphic for me, it means something different than what you mean.
Very different, yeah.
That's too bad.
Well, we got a lot of things to talk about in this somewhat graphic episode.
Somewhat graphic. Now, I have to tell you, I think there's an ongoing theme. I'd like to think that this show has really been about the importance of women's health.
They are saying something about childbirth in this show because it is always grisly and horrible.
Well, reproductive rights are important.
They very much are.
I think we need to make sure that the life of the mother is maintained because, man, in this show, wow, it began and ended with births gone horribly awry.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I mean, we open up, obviously, with Rhaenys coming into Dragonstone, letting Rhaenyra and Daemon know what's been going on back at Westeros, back at King's Landing, with the crowning of Aegon II.
How great, by the way, is she? Rhaenys has become, she might be one of the smartest people in Westeros right now.
She is.
But she's also, I would have thought, she could have some beef with Rhaenyra. There's no reason why she's necessarily on her team. Clearly, she's not giving her allegiance away. Mm-hmm. But she does recognize that Rhaenyra might step up and be the kind of leader Westeros needs.
Exactly. You pointed this out on the main show today, too, of how she really takes note of how Rhaenyra is learned from her father and is really, really weighing her options, looking at who her allies are, and is trying to, keep peace for the realm, because that's the more important thing. Starting a war, not great for your people, especially when it comes to having dragons on your side, because you don't want the entire world to burn, She's not interested in ruling a world of ash.
And, you'd think that later on in history, other Targaryens might want to take her words.
I made the same joke when I was watching. I was like, apparently her ancestors don't agree.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Mad King and, of course, the Mad King's daughter, whatever. But I think overall, this show has been a triumph in terms of writing and in terms of storytelling. But it's not like Game of Thrones. It's more of a contained, yet it has a breakneck pace. I mean, we've made 20 years have taken place in this entire season, which has done really, to me, it was I'm breathless. I was breathless through every episode. I really enjoyed, this episode was called The Black Queen, and I really liked how the last two episodes of season one, you saw the Green's point of view, and you got to see the crowning of Aegon in front of lots of people. And now we hear Rhaenyra's story and Daemon's story and the story of Dragonstone. Yeah. And I really, which at the beginning, it's pointed out that there's not a lot of people here.
No.
The Team Black does not have a lot of, they don't have much of a military.
Not on hand.
And they don't have a lot of people that are necessarily their allies. And Rhaenyra is holding hope that a 20-year-old oath is going to be upheld by the leaders of the other houses in Westeros, which looks increasingly more bleak as this episode goes on.
Exactly. And part of the issue, too, is, yes, people did swear an oath to Rhaenyra. They also swore an oath to Viserys and Alicent, and in a way, then their children. So it is a very muddled thing. We also, of course, have that very, very grisly birth at the beginning, where Rhaenyra gives birth prematurely. It is a very hard to watch scene. I know Erin was texting all of us that she and Tom tapped out. It's rough.
And it's, of course, it's on the heels of Rhaenyra learning that her father has died.
Yes.
And that her throne has been usurped by Aegon and the rest of the Greens.
Big emotions, big stakes, and that launches her into this.
And I have to say, watching Daemon, of course, who runs off to start plotting war, hearing the screams above them, of the juxtaposition there, and how, Daemon's, we've already seen him go through this. Mm-hmm. We've seen him go through it with his own wife.
Yes.
And my God, I can't even imagine.
It's a heartbreaking scene to watch, and it's very, very intense. The handmaids on hand too, all of the midwives. really, really kind of, play the audience in that moment too, of just wanting to help and being horrified.
This is going to seem, I don't mean to be too maudlin, or I hope people don't take this the wrong way, but I was adopted. And the reason that I was adopted was because my mother delivered a stillborn child after carrying it to term. And I've never been able to talk to her about it. And my mother's never wanted to share her emotions. She's not an emotional person. But I kind of feel that the season of, she does not watch Game of Thrones. She does not watch, but I often felt that I wanted to talk to her about these just because, never more so than this, because to carry a child to term in my mind has always been something, and then to lose that child at birth has always been, to me, one of the most horrible things that can happen to a human being. And what all those hopes and dreams are that are literally, of course, then again, she got me. Yeah. But I mean, I don't mean to be glib, but it is a terrifying, horrible situation. And I think they have shown the pain of it all. And this scene also, they used it to show just how strong Rhaenyra is. She's like, let us help you. No.
Yeah.
No. And she went through all of this. It was almost as if she needed this. It's like when Captain Kirk says to Star Trek V, I need my pain.
How did she make this about Star Trek?
I mean, and then of course, juxtapositioning the juxtaposition with the dragon.
The dragon screams.
Because the dragon felt it too. And I mean, as brutal and as hard as this was to watch, I didn't find it to be gratuitous. I found it that there was a point that was being made here on many different levels. First and foremost being the strength of Rhaenyra, which she thinks this was the worst of her pain.
Yes.
Little did she know.
I've lost my dad. I've lost my child. All right, let's do this. And it's all pretty much downhill from there, right? We have Daemon taking things into his own hands. She sends Jace to go kind of make sure he's in line, and that gets ignored. That is not taken seriously.
I mean, she's actually giving orders while she's delivering a stillborn child. I mean, oh my God. And of course, I'm just glad I don't live in the Middle Ages.
Oh my gosh.
It would not have been good in any level. No shower, no warm water running,
no
deodorant, and this.
No toothbrushes. But this obviously takes the cake on how awful things are. Yay for modern medicine. We also have, while they're making up all these elite, trying to figure out who their allies are and everything, right? We've got a fight between Rhaenyra and Daemon that really escalates.
Oh my God.
I mean, he ends up grabbing her by the throat and choking her. And then there's this reveal of, Viserys never even told you about the Song of Ice and Fire. Didn't even trust his brother. That was the level of distrust he had. He didn't even bestow upon him the knowledge of, this epic thing. And Daemon casts it aside as, he let prophecy and all this other stuff be this crutch for him. I honestly did have a big problem with this scene, though, of we'd gotten to such a point in Daemon's character of he genuinely cares for Rhaenyra. He genuinely loves her. And then this happens. I don't know. How did you feel about that scene?
Oh, it was, first of all, this kind of abuse, really hard to watch.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of, I think what was really interesting was they showed Rhaenyra's strength in many different ways. And it's a reminder, not just of the time in which this is supposed to take place, but I think for all of us, how quickly things between men and women can escalate to a point of this kind of abuse, and to remember like how quickly anger can give into this. I think it was, in a way, this whole thing was a cautionary tale. And I really, again, you hate him for doing this.
Yeah.
You hate him because you know what? She is stronger than he is. When he has to resort to that kind of behavior, it also set up the fact that one day, in a way, to me, this tells me this is going to be his undoing. At some point, when she's not around to temper his what he initially is going to think, he's going to lose. And it shows that he's going to be, what I love about this is how in Game of Thrones, you can see the liabilities that people have to deal with. And this is setting him up for a fall.
Yeah.
Even at the same time, when he goes to confront this dragon that he now knows he needs him anyway to in order to fight this war. And I love the fact that there's a lot of on the flip side, I did love the fact that Daemon kind of explains, here's all the dragons. In case you needed to know how many dragons there are in Westeros, let's run through it.
That is true. There is a nice little moment of like, take it away, Professor.
Yeah.
Of getting that rundown. We see so many moments of him being a total hothead in this episode. And that's something that's been throughout the series, right? This was a moment, though, of me kind of going back and forth between like, Daemon's not a great guy, but he does some cool stuff. That was this is a hard pass for me. This is a big L for you, man. Between going to go at Otto, which was, oh my gosh, that was such a good callback to episode 2, having Rhaenyra come in on the dragon, separate those fellas again when they get confronted. But I mean, he makes such rash decisions, which we've seen sometimes is what you need to do. You do need to take quick action. We saw that with the stepping stones, right? We saw that with the crab, crab feeder. Crab feeder, thank you. It's like Crab King is not the right thing. That's food. King crab. But then you see how he is just so quick to violence, even with somebody who he is claimed to care for, who's mothered his children and everything. That's not the person you want in the seat as well. I mean, Rhaenyra really seems just more fit for the job between the two of them, at least.
Well, our favorite queen who never was. Let's talk about bringing Corlys back.
Yeah,
Corlys Velaryon comes back.
Beat that fever.
And you see him at odds with his wife. I mean, clearly they love one another. There's a love between them. When he beats the fever, he finds out a lot of things. He's brought up to speed. And I thought that he was going to turn, on Rhaenyra and return on all these things. But then his wife, who I was surprised by, says, you know what? Rhaenyra is the only person in that room of a bunch of men who are quick to go to war. She's the only one who stopped for a minute and said, no, let's not do this. She stood up to all of them. And she tells Corlys this, and this is what convinces him that perhaps there's only one way, there's only one person he should back in this conflict. Not just because of an oath, but because that person might be the person to lead. Mm-hmm. And if he believes in her, other people should follow suit, I would think. Yeah.
Well, and we see how that is such a vote of confidence, having him and his fleet on her side, too. That gets everyone really excited. And then, of course, we go off. We're going to send ravens. No, we're going to send dragon riders with the princes. We're going to send out Jace and Luke. You'll be received warmly. That statement didn't age well.
Well, the thing is, though, by rules of conduct in this world, it should have been fine.
Yep.
It should have been fine. Nobody understood that the Greens outmaneuvered. Rhaenyra was outmaneuvered here she didn't even know it. Mm-hmm. And she thought, okay, she didn't anticipate. This was a bad strategic move. She didn't. They were so like, we have a plan of action. Let's make it real, without thinking like, what if they got there first?
Yeah.
That was never brought up as a contingency.
They too are doing this. Like, they're also out there. They're
ahead of the game. They're days ahead of the game because Aegon was already crowned king, and Otto Hightower, you're fighting Otto Hightower, who's a very smart man. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand that you're probably going to be outflanked and outmaneuvered if he's got days ahead of you to plot and plan. They didn't know that they've been scheming for a lot longer than they might have known. Certainly Rhaenyra didn't know this.
Exactly. Well, we get to House Baratheon, though. Aemon's already there, because we're only seeing how Luke is.
By the way, how great. So Luke lands in the pouring rain. He turns and he sees Vera. What's his dragon's name?
Verisimilitude.
Not Verisimilitude.
No.
Is not his dragon's
Vhagar?
name. Vhagar. We see Vhagar.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
His head rises up, the biggest dragon in the realm, and Luke knows. Oh shit!
It's such a kaiju moment.
I know.
Right?
I was so Godzilla.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, that's awesome. And the rumbling in the rain. I mean, how he didn't see him when he was coming in for a landing. I'm like, you circled around. Did you just not see the very back?
It was hiding. He's all snuggled around the
But
castle.
that was like, oh, shit.
But I mean, Aemon's already shown up, and he is whining and dining daughters. He's making marriage proposals. He's making the Baratheon house happy. And Rhaenyra reminds him of an oath. She offers him nothing.
Nothing
which he
else.
Does not take well. But, the Baratheon home.
Rookie mistake.
You hate to see it. But Then we see Aemon really lose his cool there too, of wanting that eye, going back to that, which I understand. You know, John called me out on this where he's like, well, if someone took your eye, Chris, you would have some hard feelings about it. Yes, I would. I like these peepers. But we've seen him really grow in these time jumps to somebody who is playing the game, who is more calculated, who can, you know, get like a little...
Especially in the last episode, looking for his brother, he seemed a little bit more calculating.
Exactly.
It was, I mean, I understand how he could have lost it. Now there's more at stake and everything, but... You know, what I find a little bit interesting, obviously, is are they aware? The Greens can't yet be aware of, or at least was Aemon aware that Rhaenyra has been crowned, and that there's now war.
I don't know if anyone knows that Sir Eric
so.
took that crown. I'm not sure if they're aware of that. That maybe it's misplaced, but I think they already knew they had to be on the prowl once Rhaenys took off, right? That's when they probably started taking action. And this is where you and I think, defer on the episode a little bit, because I think this is a great episode and it gets very cinematic. It's very Jurassic Park, where we've got that perspective issue. But then we have both boys lose control of their dragons, right? After everything's escalated and, you know, he's called him a strong and they get kicked out of the Baratheon household. And Aemon comes and starts egging him on and coming and attacking him with his dragon and everything, right? But then they both lose control of their dragons, and Luke gets gobbled up, as well as his dragon. For the purposes of narrative, I understand why this is happening. However, it seems a little odd to me that both boys, one who's been with his dragon since the beginning of his life, loses control. The other, who's supposed to be one of the greatest fighters, flyers, etc. in the realm, loses control. And I understand that's the dragons. They're powerful. That's their own thing. But it felt a little odd, especially, again, Aemon not thinking that could be a consequence, that he could actually kill this kid and really launch this full-on war.
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking about it, though. I mean,
he probably
I don't
wasn't.
think, and I'll tell you, you know, they do say at one point, was it Viserys says at one point, you can't control, it's an illusion that you can control dragons.
Have him say that, and Rhaenyra echoes that again in the episode too. So.
And I do think that the dragons can feel their riders. They're connected with their riders, and I think that we saw it set up that what Rhaenyra, her dragon, is feeling during the giving the birth sequence and stuff, and we see that like the dragons probably know that there's fear, and when we see Luke's dragon blast Aemon's dragon, I mean, it kind of all bets are off. I mean, I don't think that Aemon expected his dragon to bite the head off. You know, but I have to say that sequence, I thought, aside from, as John Campy pointed out, some of the live action, the rider footage, the composites are a little wonky, but the animation of the dragons, that one scene when Vhagar is revealed to be up top, I was blown away by that.
Oh my gosh.
How much bigger that dragon is. It
was an incredible moment. It was so cinematic. It was really, really well done. I mean, I think this was a very compelling moment. It again is just, I understand that they're both still very much boys. They really, really are.
Right.
And there is that just like, you piss me off and I'm going to come take care of you. And then, oh shit, the ramifications come in there. And I understand that's a big through line with House of the Dragon, is acting in the moment, acting on impulse. And then, oh, I don't get to just do what I want. This affects everyone. So I narratively understand that. It's just a lot of this felt a little convenient. And I wish that for me, it didn't feel like a finale. Game of Thrones, the precursor, and I understand this is an expectation, but Taylor and I talked about this too. When you hear Game of Thrones, there is an expectation of violence, right? Of red weddings and beheadings and things like that. And I understand this is a different show. I've said it before on these after shows. This feels more nuanced. It feels more restrained. It feels more mature, honestly, in a lot of ways. But I was expecting something a bit more epic to
You didn't think
this
two dragons fighting in the thunder and lightning raining skies?
I thought it was great, but I was expecting a lot more blood and gore, honestly. I was expecting something much bigger at the end. I will say this is really powerful, and that turn at the end when Rhaenyra learns what happened to Luke, who did not deserve to die like that. I mean, that is hell yeah, it is on. It's going to war. But I said this on the main show today. This felt like the prequel to the prequel. This feels like season 2 is the story that they wanted to tell and we're getting into. And I understand. I totally get it. We have to have all this backstory and everything.
You have to love and you have to like all these people.
Yeah.
You have to know who they are.
Do you like any of them?
Well, I like them in the show.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
I mean,
I
like watching all this. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out.
I love the chat right now. Were you expecting a skybeam? No. But in the previous show, I was expecting a big, violent brawl between a large group of people. I was expecting to see some of this war coming to a head. And I understand we saw that with the dragons and everything. And this is just my opinion. It's all subjective. But when I hear finale for Game of Thrones, I expect a little more. This felt like the penultimate episode we used to get in Game of Thrones.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, but even if it was, I still see that the storm clouds are all literally still gathering, because now we have to find out who's going to. By the way, I want one of those tables. I want to be able to put coal in it.
Right, it was so cool.
Light it up.
So cool.
You know, I mean, how many? Of course, when you buy one, it'll probably have LEDs in it to light up. But I want one of those tables.
It was really,
with the
really
whole
cool.
map of Westeros on it. I don't know what it's called, but I want that. I want it. If the Sharper image was still around, I'm sure they would sell it for $10,000.
Oh yeah, it'd be so expensive.
Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate, I understand this is a different show from Game of Thrones. I totally do. All of the branding does say Game of Thrones House of the Dragon.
Right.
We're going to just throw that out there for all of you. But I'm just saying, for me, I expected something a little more intense from these last 2 episodes. I think it was a great character study. I think it's a fantastic episode. I'm not shitting on the episode in any way, shape, or form. It's really, really well done. It just, for me, I felt like we were building and building and building to something. And now what we were building towards is season 2. Nothing wrong with that. I just figured we'd get a little bit more of that in this one.
See, to me, I liked all the character stuff. I think now that we've gone to war, I wonder if it's going to be as compelling as the first season has been. Because we've been here before. We've been here to large conflicts and getting these people involved. And, you know, is there going to be Walter Frey? And is there going to be, I mean, there isn't, because that's hundreds of years in the future. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel now it's going to get more conventional. Whereas I think one of the reasons I've loved this so much is it was more contained, yet with the time jumps and the recastings and all that. There's been something about this that I really, really loved. So not that I can't wait to tune in. We might not get a second season until 2024.
Well, that's the other thing. We had this. I mean, I know you and I also feel differently about these show with Rings of Power. With the big gap in between here, I'm just like, come on, I need just a little something extra.
I know. You'd think, though, that knowing they're going to make these shows, that they would just roll in, shoot them all at once. But they have to write them. I get it.
Yeah.
It was, I just thought, I found this to be a very satisfying 10 hours of TV. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, I had a great time. I enjoyed watching it. Really regret eating fall off the meat ribs while watching this show. That wasn't a good choice.
I was having dinner myself.
Yeah. Don't. When will I learn? Don't eat when you're watching HBO. Yeah, come on, Chris.
Yeah, no.
Oh. Well, guys, what we need to hear from is you, though. Tell me how wrong I am about this finale. We're going to go to your super chats in just a moment. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the good people over at True Classics.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, True Classic. This brand new sponsor has the absolute best fitting t-shirts that a man can buy. Finding the right t-shirt with a little bit of a dad bod is incredibly frustrating. Most t-shirts are either way too tight on your gut or look way too big and boxy. You're not in high school anymore and it's time to upgrade. True Classic has already helped over 2 million men finally get a better fit at an affordable price. And the John Campea Show viewers and listeners get access to the best deal they offer. For a limited time only, get 25% off using the code CAMPEA at trueclassic.com. Look, you and I both know that almost all of men's t-shirts are designed to look good on skinny models with six-packs. But let's be honest, that's not most of us. True Classic tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders. It's time to highlight your best attributes with a t-shirt that you can always confidently throw on. Like most of you guys, ever since college, I have always struggled to find proper fitting t-shirts that are comfortable. Well, True Classic from the moment I put on the shirt they sent me, solves it. And True Classic doesn't just stop at tees. From polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit. Upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the promo code CAMPIA. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day refund policy. Stay classy with True Classic. Your dad bod will thank you.
And thank you to everyone over at True Classics for making this after show possible. We appreciate it. And remember, guys, anytime you use those coupon codes, you are helping yourself out and us here at the show. So thank you so much. All right, Rob, let's head over to the super chats. What do we got?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear what everyone says. James Argenta says, as a book reader, I am neither Team Black or Green. I am Team Cregan Stark. Also, the men of House Tully are named after Muppets. That is true.
Oh.
Grover Tully, his grandson Elmo, and his sons Kermit and Oscar. He's not kidding. Those are actual names.
Oh my gosh, they are.
And George R. R. Martin has confirmed they were also named after the Muppets.
I love that. Aw, but fan 2. That's wonderful. There they are. That's season 2.
Wow. There you go. Mana. Frederick Elfson says, the flashes to Cyrax during Rhaenyra's birth scene seems to show that dragons can feel the pain of the rider. I wonder how deep the link goes. Does the rider's personality transfer over to the dragon? Well, that's kind of what I was saying. I think it kind of does. Mm-hmm. I think we saw a little evidence of that.
And I totally understand that of, hey, my rider is in trouble. I'm going to attack. I'm going to do this. That all, again, makes sense. All I was saying is narratively I went, oh, this feels a little convenient. The same way that Rhaenys was like, I'm not going to start a war. It's all justified. It all makes sense. But it also does feel like, and that is what we need to have happen to move the story forward. Nothing wrong with it. Just something to point out.
That poor dragon getting the psychic emanations of a woman losing a child.
Yeah.
Eesh. James C. says, seems that my question from last week was answered. Dragons, just like people, have tempers. Also, the dragon Daemon sang to is the riderless Vermithor, the second largest to Vhagar.
Yes.
They'll need him.
This is apparently the dragon that King Jaehaerys, before Viserys rode.
Yes.
And then just instead of getting another rider, just decided I'm going to chill under this volcano.
Yep, I'm just going to kick it here.
Yeah, so I'm interested
and
to
I
see
think
how
he's
that pans
getting
out.
another rider.
We'll see.
Call me crazy.
Ooh, will it accept Daemon? Season 2 will let us know.
Depends how good of a vocalist he is, I guess.
Yeah, just crooning to that dragon.
Oh, yeah. My Comic Planet says, Viserys and Aemon losing control of their dragons highlights what Viserys said to Rhaenyra. Targaryens controlling dragons is a myth. They can only suggest, and obviously Vhagar chose not to listen.
Yep. I mean, that makes sense. Again, I understand it.
I got to tell you, though, I know some people want to see close. You said even you wanted to see a close-up.
I did. I wanted it to be more grisly.
I really thought it was effective when you saw the parts of that dragon and Luke just. This is how messed up I am from Game of Thrones. That was just, I need to see the death very close. Otherwise, did it really happen? Because so many people came back. Like the Hound, you were just like, oh, you're alive somehow still? I'm pretty sure they're dead.
I mean, they're probably very dead.
They're very dead.
I've just been conditioned,
I know. I'm not going to hold it against you. My Comic Planet says, good chance Lucerys had been killed. Rhaenyra probably would have accepted the terms from Otto. No. Maybe, but you know what? You can't believe Otto. I'm sorry. I listened to his terms. I listened to what he said. I'm like, I wouldn't believe you further than I could throw you. You couldn't wait to get rid of us. As soon as I accepted the terms, he would have sent like ninja warriors into my house and killed everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't believe him. You can't believe Otto Hightower anymore.
No, he's a tricky dude with his own machinations.
My whole thing is how long until he's going to turn on his own daughter and his own grandson to become king himself.
Well, he already friggin' hates Aegon. We saw him kicking the shit out of him at the funeral.
I know. He's Tywin Lannister.
Mm-hmm. And see how that all pans out.
Vivek Krishnan Ashok Kumar says, one of two. I wish they split this season in two with the time jump as the season 1 finale. I felt with more time they could get into more of the Laena and Lenore backstory.
Oh, I've heard a lot of people say that.
So due to lots of time jumps, this show felt very different But great show, but not the Game of Thrones, which is what I actually wanted. But 9 out of 10 show for me. Well, I thought it was, it's different from that. I mean, I think that the fact that it was so contained, and we knew we were going to watch a span of time. I mean, like you were saying, this felt like all of a lead up to the big war.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought it was just enough. I mean, they gave us enough in each episode to make it all interesting and to know where we're at. I mean, that's what I thought.
I feel like the time jumps, honestly, even though it was sometimes like, oh, wow, we jumped quite a bit. The actors they used, first of all, and then just the storytelling they did, I feel like they made it a very, very cohesive story.
Yep.
Do I wish we delved into some more things? Absolutely. There definitely were some things in previous episodes where, wow, we really lingered on these like long stare-offs, and maybe if we kind of cut these down, we could have explored some narrative a bit more. But overall, I think they really told this really, really well.
I do too.
I just, maybe if it was a 12-episode season, maybe I'd be a little happier. But HBO, I understand. You're on budgets and you're telling a story that you want to tell. We'll see.
Regarding the time jumps, I really miss the actress who played Rhaenyra at the beginning of the show.
Millie.
Do you guys think in season 2 maybe we'll get some more flashbacks and get those actors back?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I think once the war starts, now it's started. There's going to be so much plot, and they're going to introduce a bunch more characters, too, from the
That's
different
true.
places.
It's really becoming the kid's story at this point as well. It'd be interesting to see if, because of how much fans reacted to her, if they did pull in some moments where maybe we get a send-off, a little montage of her or something like that. But I think we are going to focus more on the children.
Mm-hmm.
And in the present. Whatever that time may be.
My Comic Planet says, the amount of loss endured by Rhaenyra was devastating. Lost her father, her crown, her third child, and then Luke. I mean, how much more can she take? Getting choked by her husband?
That wasn't great.
No.
That wasn't great. But, and that moment, too, obviously the domestic issue of it is not great at all. My bigger issue there, too, was just for Daemon's character of, wow, are we seeing true colors, or is this a different side of you, or your rage manifests in this way? The character aspect of that is the big kind of like head scratcher for me of what are we saying in this moment with this character? But that moment too of betrayal, obviously both of them went through some severe loss. They both lost a child, but the butting of heads about how they're running this realm and how they're going to approach war or not approach war. For it to accumulate in that way.
Yeah, and the two of them, they didn't know they were going to be plunged into this. I mean,
sure.
they're scrambling, and they know they have to make up lost ground. They weren't expecting any of this to happen. They didn't even expect to lose Viserys right now, even though that shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody. But yeah, so it's all catch up. I mean, I do not envy the position the Blacks are in at all.
No.
So
they've got to figure out what to do with all these dragons and make some friends.
quickly.
Oof.
Mike's Movie Madness says, God, I love this finale. I was gripped to my seat, and just every moment had me on edge. Rhaenyra losing her baby was heartbreaking. Then Luke not long after, and Daemon, you'll die screaming. One of two. It's like you said, John. Daemon is about family, and he's doing what he must to avenge his brother and protect his family. Season 2 Daemon will be scary.
Yeah, I just feel like if he were to have had any training wheels, they're off now.
Yeah, they are off now.
He is going to be very, very dangerous.
And if he thought the stepstones were hard,
yeah,
not good.
Ooh.
Totodile?
Totodile. It's a Pokemon.
Totodile. What is Totodile?
Totodile's a Pokemon. He looks like, I'll show you a picture. He's cute.
Totodile.
He's a little blue guy.
Totodile Dundee. Okay. Good day, mates. I love this show so much. I'm starting to think maybe, just maybe, this might be my favorite season 1 of a show since Heroes.
Whoa.
That's high praise. I mean, I've never been so anxious and excited for each episode since then, anyway. I have to say, Totodile, I, too, loved every week waiting for the show. I was very excited. I haven't been this excited for a show in a long time. And I'm sorry it's over. Were you excited?
I really enjoyed it for the most part, right? I mean, again, I didn't dislike this finale or anything. Maybe it did what it was supposed to because it left me wanting more. It just felt to me like And now we're going. And
Right.
now we're going to do it. Now we're cooking with bacon. Let's go.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed it so far.
Orange Hand. They originally considered starting the story after all the time jumps, but George felt the preceding events were necessary to see. Your thoughts? So start after the girls, like losing the first 5 episodes with our
I
young
feel like
Millie.
those were so important.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, I feel like that was really necessary.
I do too. I mean, again, I thought all of this was necessary because you needed to set up not just the conflict, but you needed to set up the multi-layers of all these characters. These are not one-dimensional characters. And it was interesting seeing Otto Hightower going, remember when you two were little girls?
Yeah.
Remember when you were friends? Here, look. Here's a token of that time. Like, bro, a lot of water under the bridge, or water under the stone bridge, or wherever we're standing right now. Can I just say, now that I'm thinking about it, when you saw Otto show up and they went back to the volume, those shots on the bridge where they used the volume stage, you could tell the editing of that sequence when Rhaenyra flew in and got off her dragon and walked. There was something really odd about that. Like they were missing a few pieces of coverage when they were directing that sequence, because I think the director who directed this episode, I don't know if he directed earlier episodes, but that was a little wonky from an editorial standpoint. I was the first time I've ever thought this about Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon this season. I'm like, they missed getting a shot on the volume stage. I don't know what shot it was, but they missed something, because if you watch that, it was a little weird.
Oh, I'm gonna have to rewatch it and look at that.
Yeah,
again.
just the scene when she flies in and walks.
Okay.
Because I'm like, what direction are you coming from? It was very weird. But again, that's where the volume stage, you have to know as a director exactly what you're doing. So
It's a very great point.
Chad Covyduck says, Aemond is shaping up to be a great villain. Love his presence and aesthetic. He kind of reminds me of Michael Wincott in Charlie Sheen's Three Musketeers. Michael Wincott, who's the villain in The Crow, who's the
Okay.
he's the villain in 1492. I think he is awesome. He actually was a hero in Nope, but he had short hair.
Yes.
I love him, and he was also a heavy metal rocker in Oliver Stone's talk radio. He's great. My Comic Planet says, the scenes at the end with Luke and Aemond were riveting and so intense. I was screaming at the TV, hoping Lucerys could make it, but that death scene.
I do feel horrible for Luke to go that way. That poor kid. Because he just wanted to hang out with his mom. Oh, man. Was even having a hard time going, mother. I mean, your grace. I mean, you're my queen. All of that. Like, that was rough. I also think, too, the reason why it was the, like, hey, we're going to have this be kind of an almost accidental, things got out of control, things got too heated moment, is so that we do still feel some kind of sympathy for Aemond. He was
Right.
bullied, he lost an eye, and he didn't mean to kill Luke, but he did. The same way that it was, well, no one meant to stab out his eye, but they did.
but also I did like when Baratheon's like, not in my house.
Yeah.
What you are violating all of the terms. I mean, I blame Daemon for turning something into that. He should have known better. He started this. You could say, well, when he lost his eye, it was started, but he wasn't holding up. But then again, he probably didn't know. He didn't know what was actually happening. I don't think everything. I just think that he escalated the situation. What's he going to say? I really wanted to see him fly in and tell Allison what happened. I was really waiting. I'm sorry we didn't get to see that. I don't think we'll ever see that because it'll open months later or something, season 2. Who knows? Let's see. Roman Lakovitz says, Ryan Condal just confirmed to Variety that Allison's youngest son, Darren, will appear in future seasons. In the books, he is her only good son, who provides a contrast to bad boys Aegon and Aemond. Great news.
Oh, she has a good one? There's a good egg among the Targaryens?
What does he do? Like throw parties on the weekends? Time to come to my rave.
He just, he goes and he does Target runs for his mom.
Yeah.
He makes sure that she always is wearing shoes. He's a real thoughtful boy.
Get a respite from your war.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I'm glad she has a good son. All right.
You got this.
Elif Barazli says, do you think Aemon was feeling regret over killing his nephew and starting a war, or was he thinking, fuck, mom is going to kill me? I would have loved to see him try and explain that to Otto and Alicent. That's what I just said. I just said that. You know what? I don't think he's certainly going to get the ramifications of what he's done. But he doesn't know that Rhaenyra has queened herself, and he doesn't know that quite yet. He's certainly going to find it when he lands. I mean, because if Daemon knows, you can bet Alicent and Otto know. Mm-hmm. But they're going to have to deal with it. They're going to be like, well, I mean, I guess I'll tell you on the morrow. We never saw Rhaenyra's answer to Otto Hightower. I guess we know the answer now. It's not going to be a good one.
Well, I think he's going to be dealing with all those ramifications. I think he's very aware of all the things he just did.
Very aware, sir.
Mom's mad. Grandpa's mad. Kingdom's in ruin. Or is it? I don't know. Can we leverage this? He's got a lot to deal with.
It's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people keep referring to that final kill at the end of the episode. I can't show an image of it, so instead I have this for you guys. Just
oh my god!
Oh, dude!
Just I could get on this show before we get demonetized.
I think I see his arm.
Oh no!
Oof.
Boy, Andy says that House of the Dragon season 1 finale was disappointing AF. There wasn't any feet in it, not even a toe. Well, I think there were feet. They were just plummeting down into the ocean.
They were, yeah. There was just no one was getting a footy.
Yeah.
No one was peeping at a toe. Different kind of episode, you know? But hey, season 2.
It's going to happen.
More foot action.
They're going to call it season toe instead of
Season
two.
toe.
Season toe.
Oh, man.
House of the Dragon. Oh, no. The Sock says, as Lucerys was flying towards the castle, I said, wait, if Rhaenyra was thinking this, then so was Alicent. And I felt a pit in my stomach as I saw Vhagar. He truly didn't deserve that. You're right. No. Vhagar's better than that. No. Oh, I see what you mean.
Vhagar didn't deserve to eat him?
Yeah. Hey, Vhagar, you know, looks like boys back on the menu, men.
Oh, no.
Sorry, terrible. Taylor Goodson says, could the fact that the first season is 20 plus years compressed into one season with the rest of the show only covering a time period of 2 to 3, according to the books, come back to hurt the show? Oh, I doubt it.
I mean, probably not. Also, thank you for that $20 super chat, Taylor. That's very generous of you. I feel like we had to condense this one because it was so much history. I mean, it depends. It really, really depends. I think the next season is going to have to be very, very, action-packed, give us all that political intrigue, continuing to do what the first season did well, and make us really care about this group of characters.
Well, suddenly we're going to have to meet all the houses and the leaders of the houses of Westeros again, which is going to be that alone. You could probably do a house per episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Are we going to see the Starks? Are we going to Winterfell again?
I'm really excited about the new opening to see when we were going to connect those different bloodlines.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be fun.
It'll be very interesting to see what's going to go where.
Yeah.
Elif Barazli says, Viserys said in episode 1, the idea that we control the dragons is an illusion. He was right.
Yeah, it totally is a Chekhov's gun situation, right? We heard it from Viserys, we heard it from Rhaenyra, and then we saw two folks with dragons. We needed that, gun to go off, so to speak.
I do love the idea that Rhaenys, we saw 3 dragons take off. She went to protect the skies where Corlys's fleet is. Because, dragons could take out those boats, man. I love that. I just love the idea of her circling overhead to make sure everything is... And now, of course, you don't wait. You're not going to wait until someone fires first. You're at war.
Yeah.
So dragon fire is going to be unleashed. No matter what. Bobby Osita says, Black fire has been passed down from king to king, from Aegon the Conqueror to Viserys. And for my book readers, that sword would go on to cause yet another succession civil war.
The Blackfire.
Blackfire is his sword, right?
Yeah, but he's referring to the Blackfire Rebellion that happens later.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very cool.
All right. Philip says, fire in the face is an eatable offense. Vhagar.
Very, very true. Very, very true, Philip.
Vhagar's like, you know what? That was kind of like when Harry Styles spit at Chris Pine.
Allegedly. Apparently there was no spit. Who's to say?
There you go.
We have another one too from Oscar, I think, on here. Or Bobby, excuse me. Bobby Osita.
The sword that Aegon rises in the air is Blackfire, one of the 2 Valyrian steel swords owned by the Targaryens. The other is Dark Sister, owned by Daemon.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Awesome. I was thinking he was talking about Daemon's sword because he says it. Mm-hmm. So
that confused me so much at the first watch through where I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the name of the sword. Okay. All right. What's next?
Revan says, as a book reader who didn't love the last few seasons of Game of Thrones, I love House of the Dragon. R.I.P. Luke and Eric's 2 good boys. Also, Rob, thanks for winning me that Funko.
Aww.
Revan, hope you get it. Did we send it out? Or is that still sitting here?
Oh, no. I think Ray mailed everything out on the day.
Did he? But
Because
there's
Ray's a
still
good
the
boy.
one. I think
Well, yeah,
the one,
we've got more to give away.
because you weren't here that I won.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, that's why I won.
Is that the
Nice.
Miss Marvel one?
Yeah.
We have to say, Ray's a little preoccupied right
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ray's a little, under the weather.
Yeah.
But he'll be back. We'll make him walk all the way to the post office.
Congratulations on winning. What was your winning question?
Oh, it was, I think it was, I don't remember.
That's okay.
I don't remember.
I just always lose, so
Oh,
I'm never surprised when anyone else wins.
now I'm thinking about it. It was it Drive? Was it? I don't remember.
You know what?
I forget.
I bet you I can bring it up right here.
Was it that one?
Is this good content, internet? Me
don't
asking
know.
about what my friends did when I wasn't here?
Yes. Well,
Infinity Gauntlet. You went off Infinity
Infinity
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Oh, okay.
that's what it was.
Nice.
Infinity Gauntlet was the right question. There you go.
Excellent.
So it wasn't Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
That was another one I got though.
I mean, we're all winners when Ryan Gosling comes up.
I forget.
Yeah.
Yes, Infinity Gauntlet was it. It's
What
true.
else we have?
Philip says, if you're watching House of the Dragon and you're not satisfied rooting for either side of this political struggle, vote third party. Vote Cregan Stark 2024. All right.
Okay.
I love the
All
Starks.
right.
Cregan Stark. We haven't met Cregan Stark.
No.
Not really. Not
no.
face to face.
We'll be hopefully meeting them soon. 2024.
Shop S Smart.
Yay.
Shop Smart. Shop
Shop
S Smart.
S-Smart.
If you're a Army of Darkness fan, which I am. Recently released in 4K and Steelbook.
Ooh.
Wait, Rob, didn't you work on?
I did work on Army
There
of
we
Darkness.
go.
You can see my name in the credits.
Oh, cool.
Sam Fisher says, I'm surprised Viserys didn't go through the whole phone book and put a call to Aaron A. Aronson. Laugh out loud. Okay, I'll leave now. No, Sam, don't leave. Stay here with us.
Oh, Sam, thank you for that Hot Fuzz reference. I appreciate you.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, that's great.
Aaron R. Aronson. Sam Fisher. Oh, wait. Man with a Master Plan. Dragon fights in season 2. Can't wait.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped
excited
too.
about
Not
them.
like we didn't just see one, but yes.
I know. I want more. They named all the dragons, Rob. There's
And we're
so
gonna
many more
and
dragons.
they're all gonna dance.
Yeah.
It'll be like going to a hoedown.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll hear some country music in Westeros.
I hope not, but everything else I'm on board for.
All right. Okay, some Steve Earle and the Dukes, maybe. Sam Fisher says, now I hate Daemon even more. As well you should. Although, I mean, he is I'm Team Black.
Yeah. I am too. I think it's another one of those moments though, honestly, of like, hey, remember, this isn't a good person. You know? Because all of us in here have been guilty of it too, of like, yeah, Daemon's the man, cooking fools, having a great time. It's not. It makes some questionable choices. It doesn't do some great things.
It's true. You know, we'll see what happens.
My friend last night said that they're Breaking Bading him. Like, it's that moment of, Walter White's great. Walter White's awesome. And then they were like, no, he's not. Let's do some things.
You mean Daemon wasn't already bad?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Where people start like going, no, this is the really cool character. Or like you Fight Club them, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, no, Tyler Durden was great. That's not what you should take away from this.
No. I feel like people crushing on Daemon was like all those people that named their daughters Khaleesi during the run of Game of Thrones.
Probably.
Before season 8.
Probably.
Wait, he killed his ex-wife with a rock. Remember, he knocked her off.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Smashed her head.
And
Yeah.
people were still like, oh my God, he's a dreamboat.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But then when you have him strangle somebody who you like, then we all go, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah. It's true. Tim Platt says, Dear House of the Dragon, no more pregnancy scenes, please.
They're brutal.
I think
They're
we're done with
really
the pregnancy
brutal.
scenes.
I think so. Well, I mean,
Well, you never know.
yeah. More errors.
Sam Fisher says, did you see the photo posted of Patty mid Viserys episode 8 makeup? I did. It was pretty impressive. I
It's
mean, that,
great.
Yeah. But it had to have been augmented a little bit with some CG.
Well, yeah.
Thin him out, maybe. But it's impressive.
It is.
He was, and you know what I loved? I loved his love and how much the character meant to him. On social media, calling out like to his wife and to all the woman who played his wife from the first episode. What a cool guy. That guy's a class act.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
He directed a film that I want to go see now. I had not seen, I forget the name of it, but he did direct a feature film that I now want to go watch simply because of how great he was in this movie.
We were watching, when we were watching this last night, we were like, man, we have to do Cornetto trilogy and we need to go rewatch that and get Hot Fuzz and World's End.
Yes, you
he's
do.
Magnificent in those.
Yes, he is. He's the best.
Love Patty. So good.
And his name's Patty. Who doesn't love that? Sam Fisher says, I already said that. Mark Paragast says, which dragon does Daemon sing to in the cavern? Well, somebody brought that up earlier.
That is the Vermithor one.
Yeah.
Am I saying that?
Yeah, it's Vermithor. That's right.
Okay.
I say Vermithor because I keep thinking back to the first great dragon on film, the Vermithrax pejorative from Dragon Slayer.
Ooh.
1981's Dragon Slayer, which is coming out on physical media finally.
Dang. All right.
I don't have to go to the tuna train to get mine, even though I
That's-
did. Santez Henderson says, if the blacks are committing treason, Aemon can now say he's taking a bite out for crime.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Man.
But
He could.
yeah, I guess he could say that. Wow.
Oh, no.
I love you guys. Sam Fisher says, good man, Eric.
Heck
Eric is a
yeah.
good man.
Stealing a crown.
I mean, we got
Bringing
to.
it to for the rightful queen.
Do you think those brothers will ever reconcile?
I was like, oh shit, twin fight. I
I don't think
was
they
waiting
ever
for
will.
that too. I hope they reconcile.
Come on, it's like The Mountain and the Hound. But maybe, we'll have a better
Maybe
showdown.
this will be a happier ending.
Could be. Doubt it. There are no happy endings in Westeros. Jason A says, before House of the Dragon, I was rolling my eyes at the idea of a Jon Snow show. But now it's going to be this good. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Should it be called Game of Thrones, The Promised Prince?
Ooh.
How about that?
How
That'd be
little
it?
does Jon Snow know? That's what I want. I want a game show with him about Westeros.
They could put that on HBO too.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Great.
That's actually not, you know what? That's very funny.
I'd watch it. But yeah, I think as long as the writing is on par, right? I mean,
The problem is, I will say this, that this is based on
A book.
the book. And so, and by the way, other than some details, it's been pretty close from what I understand. So I don't know. Was there a prince who was promised book? Is there a Jon Snow? I mean, I like John was saying earlier, I just want to see those, or was it you saying it? I want to see all those people come back. I want to see Arya and I want to see Sansa. I want to
Yeah.
see these people. It'll be really
want to see
interesting.
what Arya's doing.
Yeah, I want to know. Like, what did she find out there? Did she find Annie Lennox singing Into the West?
The crossover event we deserve.
I know.
Oh man,
Well, I've been to Middle Earth. That'd be interesting.
that'd be great. I would love that.
Tim Platt says, Daemon, I have an army of dragons. Aemon, we have a Vagar.
I mean,
I don't
yeah.
know. 2 or 3 dragons could take Vagar.
We gotta see. Vagar's seen war too, though.
That's true. I know.
So there's also that one up of like that's
It is true.
a tired and true dragon who's big as fuck.
He is very big. Very big. Sam Fisher says, if I was Boros, threatening violence against a messenger would make me flip sides. It shows no respect for House Baratheon. Hey, man, you know what? There's something to be said for that, but what are you
Yeah.
going to do? I mean, that's why he kicked him out. That beef did not occur inside the walls of was it Storm's End?
I'm wondering though, if you do completely turn to a different side when that happens, knowing the power they have, not knowing who is in allegiance with everyone else yet too, right? Like we've talked about this throughout the episode. You can't make these really rash decisions when it comes to your allegiances in Westeros. So it is kind of, okay, who are we siding with? Who are we doing? And how much does someone have to wrong me for me to not be on their team?
And also, are the Baratheons going to put up with that? You know, you were in my house, and now you went and killed a messenger?
Yeah,
a non-combatant?
It's interesting to see
A
if
kid?
Yeah, if they will go, nope, we're not on board with that, or if they'll stay.
Yeah. I mean, do I want somebody marrying my daughter who's just going to murder straight up murder people that come into my house? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably he wants to.
Probably wants that tie to the throne. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out.
Vixter 5001 sends in a super chat and says, current tally of theater shows I've seen with House of the Dragon actors. Wow. Laris 7, Emma 5, Daemon 3, Otto 2, Rhaenyra 2, Viserys 1, Rhaenyra 1, Rhaenys 2, Viserys 1, Rhaenyra 1, Aegon 1. Superb talent. And he's saying, Vixter's saying theater shows.
I'm so jealous that you got to see them on stage.
I wonder if it's the same theater. And when they were casting House of the Dragon, they just went, so who you got? And they just took we'll take them all.
They just went to one West End theater and were like, this seems good.
We'll just take them all.
We like everyone who's been on your 2021 programming. Let's go.
Can you imagine? And they did it when some show was in previews and they took all the cast. Bye.
Bye.
We're going to Dubrovnik in Spain. See you later. But then our viewers saw the show, so it gets
that's amazing though. Oh, those must have been incredible shows. Very, very jealous that you got to do that.
Well, I found it. I found what show they were all in together on.
Uh-oh.
No. How dare you?
Come on,
How
dude.
dare you, Taylor? Get out
But
of
it
here.
makes sense,
That's
right?
Sutton Foster, first of all. All right. She's nowhere near Game of Thrones.
Wow. Santez Henderson says, the outrage about Daemon drives me crazy. He was never a good guy. And somehow people are angry that the show is emphasizing it. Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone should be angry about it. Like, oh my God, he choked her? What a douchebag. No, I really do think it was a reminder of like, this is not a good person.
Yeah, no.
You can't trust him. Not in a marriage, not with allegiances, not with acts of war. Like, you can't trust him. He's always going to think he is he's doing best, and he knows best.
It's true. Yep. Sam Fisher says, can we talk about the sound design of the fire in the scene with Daemon singing to the dragon? Oh, that was it was great. Mm-hmm. That was a great scene.
Yeah. It was very,
Scary
very
dragon.
cool. Very, very mystical, very fun. And then that dragon is friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. In the dark. Max Cohen says, baby boy bites. In the realm of dragon snacks, they're a strong choice.
Oh, wait, you got to do it in an announcer voice, Rob.
I know.
Let's go. Take two.
Baby boy bites. In the realm of dragon snacks, they're a strong choice.
Nice. Very nice.
Get it, a strong choice.
Oh, good job on the redirect. Well done. Well done.
The man with the master plan says, hey, yo, man on man. The scene with the dragons is like a 737 versus a Cessna. Poor Luke. Now the green will pay.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will.
Rhaenyra's coming after them with a vengeance. Oof. Ooh.
It's true. It's going to be bad. It's going to be brutal. Kids are going to die.
Yep.
Nasser says, in the book, Rhaenyra's stillborn child had scales and a tail because she kept cursing at her, wondering why they chose to change it. Thoughts? Well, if a child had scales and a tail, that might have been a little too fantastical.
Potentially.
I mean, is it supposed to look like a dragon?
We had so many time jumps. We'd be like, did she have sex with a dragon?
Yeah, it could be.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's something wrong with Rhaenyra's baby.
Yeah.
It's alive.
I think maybe they wanted to take
I
away.
got that reference.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
I think maybe they wanted to take away that fantastical element to ground the atrocity of the whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and if something had scales and a tail, why wouldn't it survive?
Mm-hmm.
That's one tough baby.
Yeah.
What if it just came flying right out of her? I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I think they needed it to look human to nail the point home.
Yeah.
So Daniel Vakura says they did explain right away why Rhaenys didn't pull the trigger to end the last episode. It felt justified with it not being her war to start.
Totally. They did a really good job covering that in the beginning of this. Because, last week, all of us were screaming, Yell Dracarys, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, because, I mean, none of the true royals would do that because, I mean, while there's treachery there, you can't just murder. She's not going to straight up kill. How many people would have died? She wasn't going to just kill Alicent and Aegon. She would have killed tons of people.
I mean, she did kill tons of people.
She did
though.
kill tons of people.
She
It's true.
jumped up to the
but they're just-
floorboards and was like, oh, they're peasants.
They're
No, they're
peasants.
They're sleeping. They're taking
It'll
dirt
be
naps.
fine.
They're limber.
They're limber?
Yeah, they work for a living. They're limber.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fair.
right.
That's fair.
It's true. Daniel Vakura says they did explain right away why Rhaenys didn't pull the. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Sam Fisher says, guess it can't be Reds versus Green. Too Christmassy. Well, I mean.
Damn it, Taylor. How many Shrek images do you have on hand?
It's the finale. People need this.
It's just, wow. Okay.
Finale of your career.
Oh.
Future Millionaire says, hey, Rob, after watching the episode and knowing the future of House of the Dragon, are you surprised they are adapting the kills exactly from the books? Or do you prefer they change it up a bit? Now, hang on a second. I don't know a lot about the books.
You're familiar, but you haven't read
I'm familiar,
them.
but I haven't read them, and I've read certain recaps and things like that. And I did before the show started, just to be fair. So I think I was reading a wiki of Ice and Fire. So it was that kind of thing. So I knew certain things going to happen, but to be honest, beyond this, it becomes a big mush in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't remember certain things. I just remember this because I remember this incident was happening because that struck me as the beginning. Because then when it gets into the battles, it was so to and fro, and I couldn't remember. Although there is something, I'm not going to say what it is, that I remember from the end that I wish I didn't know. To be honest,
I have one of those where someone was like, "Oh my gosh, Chris, do you think they're going to do this?" And then told me what happens in the book, and I was like, "Well,
actually,
as someone who hasn't read it, I don't know." And also, that's horrible.
Yeah, there's two things that I know.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah.
I want to know what you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Belteder 3 says preview of season 2 of House of the Dragon. What is war crimes for a 100, please? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get to that. I mean, yeah, the war. I mean, it's going to be fun, to be honest. I liked what was it, season 2 of Game of Thrones when Robb Stark was at war. I liked all that. I like seeing all these different houses and all the subterfuge and the things that go on, and how is Corlys going to hold on to the sea, and what's going to happen with the Dance of the Dragons. And all. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's gonna be fun.
War.
Bring it on.
Love it. Can't wait.
I'm going to show some restraint. I have a Shrek image for this one, but I will not use it. I will not
don't use that
it.
Shrek image. Hitchcock is the GOAT. I also got Close Encounters vibes when Vagar passed over Eryx in the clouds. It was like when the huge spaceship flew over Richard Dreyfuss's truck at the beginning. Yes, it's true. And by the way, in the director's cut of that, or I guess you call it the director's cut, there's a great shot they added with the shadow of the spaceship flying over.
That's a good comparison. I like it.
It's a good comparison. Really liked it. Matthew Carter says, can't believe they ended on that cliffhanger. I am so hurt. I don't think Rhaenyra wins the war, but she's now the most dangerous person in Westeros. Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Black
a woman
Queen.
and a
Oh
mother
my gosh.
scorned.
Yeah, she is going to fight tooth and nail.
Yes,
she has
she
been
is.
wronged on such a personal level. She's been wronged in the political landscape. You know, she's been betrayed by her allies, by her people. She's gonna be angry.
She's going to be very angry. Maybe she'll Hulk out.
Ooh.
That's not, I shouldn't have said Hulk.
No, because now we're gonna get another
We're going to get
friggin'
another
green ogre up in
we're
here.
gonna see it. I know.
I would never do that to you.
I
Yeah,
know.
who did that?
I
Who put
know.
those up?
I can't even imagine. Irene Jobson sends in a super chat and says, I love this season. Definitely felt the finale wasn't as violent as I thought it would be, but it's definitely coming. Moms don't play around when it comes to their babies.
They do not, Irene. Excellent point. Oh my
And
gosh.
someone, it's going to be a son for a son.
Yeah.
It's no longer just an eye for an eye.
No, son for a son.
Son for a son.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think that, Irene, that's just my thing too, is just, I was really revving up, especially from the promos and everything, of there will be blood. Oh yeah. Yeah, there will. And there was.
And there was.
There was.
Oh, yes.
It just happened in a different way than I thought it would.
It is true.
But hey, subverted my expectations.
Guzman says, Hot D missed a chance to cast Leah Michelle as Lord Boros Baratheon. Chris will get it.
Because the Baratheons can't read.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's mean, and she can. That was a really solid joke, though.
All right. That's good then.
Mm-hmm.
Harv's K says, going to be so much hot dragon on dragon action in the coming seasons. I'm all there for it.
Yeah.
I'm all here for it.
Mm-hmm.
I love hot D on D action.
We know you do, Rob. We know you do.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon on dragon.
Yeah.
As long as they bring the fire. Matt Sanders says, can't believe the season's over. One of the best shows on television. Now, is Luke dead? Because no body, not dead, right? Best first season. Luke's dead, I can tell you that. And his body, or half of his body's in Vagar's stomach.
Yeah. Thank you for that $20 super chat too, Matt. We appreciate you. I said that earlier. I've been conditioned to do the on-screen deaths or no death, or off-screen deaths or no death at all. But I think this one's gonna stick.
You know what? If the bite doesn't kill you, the fall will.
Yeah, that is a tumble.
And if the fall doesn't kill you, the ocean will.
Yeah, the odds are not in his favor.
And if the ocean doesn't kill you, the fish in the ocean will.
Oh yeah, it's just yeah.
It's all dead.
R.I.P. Luke.
Luke's, it's not like The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Bond Presents says best size comparison shot since A New Hope. You're right.
Ooh, yeah.
Little beginning of Star Wars there.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's another.
I
good
concur.
call. I concur as well. I like that. Jose Mates, or Hoser Mates, Joser Mates,
Hoser, I think.
Hoser Mates. Aemon, Luke, and Danny lost control of their dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
We've seen this before, and again, it goes back to that they're not controlled. That's an illusion. Just still.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's sad,
Yeah.
but awesome.
That's why you're trying to form a partnership, right? And I guess if your dragon senses things are hinky.
Well, I mean, once your dragon gets blasted in the face
Yeah.
by another dragon, what's that dragon supposed to do? Chill out?
Yeah.
I mean, that's them's fighting words.
Call their PR rep and say it didn't happen.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
He literally got spit in the face.
It's, you can attack or you can Chris Pine.
And by the way, Vagar doesn't know how big he is.
Are you saying this is like when a big dog at the dog park gets attacked by a chihuahua and they're like, well, fuck this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's fair.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Because Vagar just knows he's Vagar. It's like, I'm here, I'm having a good time. Why you got to spit fire in my face? It hurt. Could have lost an eye.
That's true. We should have been thinking about Vagar's feelings. You're right, Rob.
I
Thank
would.
you. Thank
I
you for
am.
that perspective. I appreciate you.
I care more about the dragon's feelings than the humans.
Dragons live
honestly,
longer.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, I care more about them. Bond Presents. Oh, that's already said that. And Keon Jenkins says size does matter. Dragons, that is. Why just dragons?
It's an awkward silence.
Size queen.
Anyway.
I had to make
Queen's
sure we didn't
creature.
freeze, but this is real life.
Well, I feel like dragons, we're going to find out that there's a quantity over quality issue here. I think we're going to need a lot of dragons, not just a big one.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, all different kinds of dragons.
Everyone.
Sometimes you need a broadsword. Sometimes you need like a rapier,
yeah.
something like that, rapier,
Very astute.
or a dagger.
Yeah.
Valerian steel, of course.
Boom. And is that it, Taylor?
So that's it that showed up in the activity feed. So I'm just going to do a really quick run through and make sure that nothing got skipped. But while I'm doing that, if I could give you guys something to talk about, can you talk about how this image reminds you of the scene between the two boys about the eye? There's even a dragon dinosaur in the
Wow.
background.
I'm so disappointed in you.
That's just that's a whole different
I mean,
studio.
you know what?
That's a whole
Honestly,
different.
it's not Shrek, though. So I'm proud
Yeah,
of you for
but
branching
I didn't
out.
want to
But he's
over
going
it.
to Toy Story, so he's gone from Universal to Disney.
Yeah, we're jumping around.
And we're
in
at
IP.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I'll take it. I mean, yeah.
Well, Rob, is there anything that you're expecting from season 2? Do you think we're going to have another big time jump, or are we going to get right where we left off?
Here's the one thing, having known a little bit about what's coming, what's going on. I hope we get the same kind of character development that we got in this season, because what I really enjoyed about the first season of House of the Dragon was it was fairly contained. We did move out, but for the most part, most of the action was contained inside, the Red Keep or outside the Red Keep. Occasionally we went other places, but I liked all of that court intrigue. And once we go to war, you can't just have action. I mean, I guess you could, but I hope, and I'm sure that they'll do this, that they'll have as much court intrigue as there is intrigue on the battlefield, or not just. Is there intrigue on the battlefield? They're
There
just
can
fighting.
be.
But you know what I mean? I would like, and by the way, I don't think they're going to disappoint. I think, like a lot of people, I was surprised how great this season of TV was. I really enjoyed it. It could not have existed without the heavy lifting that the original Game of Thrones did for the world of Westeros. But I really did enjoy this as 10 hours of very satisfying TV. The acting was first rate. The technology, whether it's the cinematography or sometimes when it got too dark. I mean, I was watching it on a calibrated TV, so it didn't bother me. But for the most part, this was some handsomely mounted TV at its finest. And the actors, I mean, they're all going to be stars now because of this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wonder, what I really want to know in the next Red Nose Day in the UK, is Chris Martin from Coldplay going to be writing a House of the Dragon musical to go along with his Game of Thrones musical?
Oh, I hope so, because that was so good.
So good.
Is it too early to do it though? Because we had a couple seasons.
Yeah, we have
under
to
the
wait.
belt.
But you know, I mean, maybe he needs to marinate more on it.
Yeah, would love that though.
Yeah.
I anticipate we're going to start pretty soon after these events in season 2, because we gotta deal with what happened to Luke. We have to deal with the fallout from that. And I don't think a time jump would do that justice. I'm excited for us to get into the thick of it and see more dragons fighting.
And I'm curious, is there going to be characters that can go between the blacks and the greens without getting killed? Like, can Rhaenys and Corlys, now that Corlys is going to declare, does that mean that Corlys is immediately an enemy? Is everyone an enemy of the realm? I mean,
think so.
it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to go.
Yeah, we'll have fun seeing who plays what side and everything. Well, Taylor, did we have any other questions, or are we good to go?
Okay, I think I found a couple. I'm not 100% sure that we got these, so I'll just read them just to be safe. We have one from Glenmark who says, Greensick was the least of poor Lucerys's worries. Did we get that one?
No, we didn't. Thanks, Glenn. Hi, Glenn. Yeah, getting like sky sick, that green sick. Yeah, don't worry about your motion sickness, babe. That's the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Oof. What else?
What else there, Taylor?
Sorry,
boy?
we're just trying to, on our end, refresh the...
Just in case there's other questions that we missed.
Yeah. I want to make sure we get all those super chats, you guys, because we really appreciate you sending them in.
I mean, what's really sad is how long until the next season? Another year and a half, 2 years? I'm
really
sad.
bummed about it.
Maybe they'll it's supposed to start shooting next month. So maybe we'll get it sooner than later.
I hope so.
I don't want
right.
to wait.
Anything else?
I have another one from Glenmark. Allison's team took 2 of Rhaenyra's children in one episode, Lucerys and her stillborn. Rhaenyra was holding back, but now, yeesh.
Yeah, I mean, all hell's going to break loose.
Absolutely, it is.
All Dragonfire is going to break loose.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have one from Richard.
Okay.
Although this doesn't determine the quality of the show, it was really nice to have a 10-episode season of Game of Thrones again.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, and we hadn't had a 10-episode season of Game of Thrones for the last 3, because the 6th episode of the 8th season was only it was only 6 episodes in season 8, and I think it was 7 episodes of season 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so.
So yeah.
Yeah,
well,
this was nice.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So far, these sound like ones we have not gotten to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then here's one from Daniel Vacara. I thought the episode was really good, but it felt more like the episode stopped with the final shot compared to ending like what I expected from a season finale. You knew Luke was screwed once you see Vhagar.
Yep. Those are my thoughts too. Really enjoyed it, but it was oh, okay, that's the end. All right.
I didn't mind that because, the episode was about her. It was about Rhaenyra.
That's totally fair.
It was her final, that turn was her final. I mean, if she could breathe fire, she would have I would have had her end by breathing fire right out into the camera. Of course, maybe metaphorically.
Honestly, if we went back to the juxtaposition between her and the dragon, that connection they have, right, from the beginning of that episode to having that at the end, ooh.
Yeah.
Some kind of guttural, barbaric yop from both. I don't know. Maybe that would have been too cheesy, but could have been fun.
All right, from ThatBoy22. The last shot of Rhaenyra, war is coming next season, and she isn't going to hold back. This show has been amazing, currently my favorite of the year.
Believe we did do that one.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
There you go. I believe that's it then.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for writing in those super chats. We appreciate you supporting us, and we appreciate you giving us things to talk about, because We can't do these shows without you. Otherwise, it's just, the four of us yelling at each other.
It's true.
So we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you once again, too, to True Classics for being a sponsor of this after show and making this possible. Thank you to Taylor and Jonathan for producing. We super, super appreciate you guys. Taylor, where can people find you?
Ooh, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at 50 Shades of Tay and my brand new YouTube channel at 50 Shades of Tay.
Awesome. Rob, where can everyone find you? You delight.
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram at RM Burnett, find me on Twitter at BurnettRM, or find me at Postgeek Singularity on YouTube.
Awesome. And you can find me, Chris Carr, at Actor Chris Carr on both Instagram and Twitter. Thanks so much, you guys. We will see you next time. We will have another John Campea show in the morning for you. It'll be Rob and Christian Harloff. Is he on tomorrow?
Yeah, he is on
We'll
tomorrow.
be on and then open mic tomorrow.
Awesome. We'll have.
Oh, and what about later tonight?
And tonight, you will be able to catch a new episode of The Weekly Hero. We were talking about all kinds of good stuff this week. We've got a really great issue for you just in time for Spooky Season 2, a lovely Grant Morrison one. So definitely check that out. Make sure you've hit the bell on this channel. That way you get notified for all of the tasty videos we're dropping, okay? So thanks so much. Have a great night. And until next time, Chakaris.